Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your weekly dose of crazy liberals. Guys, let's get right into this. This first quick video, I found two people on a train. They're not going to let COVID get them. Oh my goodness. Let's see what's going on here. They look like they're getting ready for a spacewalk. That's more protection than Neil Armstrong had. I mean, just, oh my goodness. I know a lot of people have been talking about what's been going on in Australia. Apparently, they're killing dogs. Now, the story behind this is there were 2 or 3 dogs, I believe, or several dogs that were supposed to be transported to a rescue facility. But the Australian government just shot them because they were afraid of the dogs potentially spreading diseases, right? So just absolutely the blind leading the blind in Australia. They've had basically no cases. I know there's been protests there, and it's like when you get too woke. Now this one, there's actually been several instances of this. I'm going to read this off and kind of talk about it. But it's just a lot of these liberal people hoping Republicans die because they support Trump. This is legitimately happening, and this is one of those things where it's like my team versus his team. It's one of the major issues in our society to where it's like, we're all American citizens, but half of us hate each other because you voted for Trump and you're racist and you voted for Hillary and I hate you. It's this terrible thing with American society, and I screenshotted just several examples. Let's take a look at this. Can we send the MAGA-wearing unvaxxed to Afghanistan? No use in sending that plane back empty. Good idea. Ladies and gentlemen, the former director of the NSA and CIA. It's just brutal stuff. Here's an individual, and I want to talk about this guy because this guy has a mental health issue, unfortunately. I don't know how old this guy is, maybe 70 or 75. First, you see he's verified. Secondly, you see before his name, he says he's fully vaccinated. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, it's like they brag about getting vaccinated. Congratulations, you got vaccinated. Let's look at him. And you can see here in a subtweet, it says, race car crashes at Georgia track killing audience member. One less Trump supporter. So this guy, it's like, man, this guy is 75 years old on Twitter, celebrating the death of an American citizen because he was a Trump supporter. Dude, you're 75. Go out to the store, buy some bread, go feed the birds. Get off of Twitter, man. Like, seriously. And then, of course, I had to just recently check. He, of course, is still on Twitter. He's not banned from Twitter. Why would he get banned from Twitter for, being happy someone died? But Trump's banned because Trump is the devil. Trump is Adolf Hitler. And guys, the Taliban's official spokesperson still isn't banned. No, it makes sense. Yeah, no, it makes sense. Some of these people getting banned, others not. This guy who, very happy when Trump supporters died because, well, they like Trump and he's the devil. He's still allowed on Twitter. Oh, yeah, absolutely, dude. He's a liberal. Of course he's still allowed on Twitter. Why wouldn't he be? Why did a white woman write a cookbook about dumplings and noodles? Isn't that the typical standard middle-aged white woman behavior? I mean, seriously? Like, what is this tweet insinuating? That white women don't write cookbooks about, dumplings and noodles, and then she screenshots the cookbook and the woman that wrote it? Like, I really don't understand this. So white women can't write about noodles and, aren't those white foods? I don't understand this. Michael Moore, oh God. First, let me say, I pray Michael Moore got the vaccine. He is definitely of the high-risk category, and it's not due to age, ladies and gentlemen. It's not due to age. But of course, Michael Moore comparing the Taliban to the January 6th incident, definitely the same. Very, very similar. Again, you can see, they tried doing this in my last video when I was doing one of these. As you can see, the Taliban on the top looks like they've got some nice, light machine guns. On the bottom, it looks like those Trump supporters from their parents' basement. They've got some horns and the American flag. Those situations are definitely comparable. He's literally got a screenshot, and on the top, there's dudes with AK-47s, and on the bottom, there's, 45-year-old unemployed men shirtless with bullhorns and American flags, and they're trying to say that's comparable. Why would you use those two pictures if you're trying to say the January 6th, riots on the Capitol were like what the Taliban's doing to Afghanistan right now? Why would those be your two pictures? They're complete opposites. They're complete opposites. You're comparing dudes with guns to dudes shirtless with bullhorns, fake bullhorns on their heads, and a blowhorn and Trump flags. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. You're disproving what you just tweeted with the photo under it. Please, for the love of God, do not rush an unsafe vaccine for political purposes. Every company in America should require all workers to be vaccinated, period. I mean, will anyone at all ever fully trust the CDC again? And who on God's earth would trust a vaccine approved by the FDA? How do we get a vaccine distributed after this broken Trumpist nonsense has infected everything? Even if Biden wins. Great news. Full FDA approval of the Pfizer COVID vaccine. Great sign that the others could follow. Hopefully this will get people off the fence. Hashtag get vaxxed. Hashtag beat COVID. Guys, this is another one. Verified person on Twitter. Look at her name. She's pro-democracy and she's got a little emoji. Make sure you're covering your face. There it is, the emoji. It does a lot. See, that emoji proves that she's a good person, guys. That emoji that she has in her profile next to her name, and she's also pro-democracy. It says it right there. Oh my goodness. Pro-democracy. Oh, thanks for letting us know. Very important stuff. Yes, it's happening. It's happening. He has corrupted the FDA in the middle of a pandemic. Time to put down the horse dewormer, yo. FDA grants full approval to Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine, opening the door for more vaccine mandates. Yippee, oh yeah. Let people with less rights, let's throw a party. The Trump administration has been one rolling disaster after another. But the disaster in Syria, it comes with a steep price. Civilians are dying. And all because Trump needs distractions from impeachment. Do something, Congress. Reminder, while mainstream media has tried to paint a picture of chaos, 30,000 people have been evacuated from Afghanistan since the end of July. That is a lot of evacuations. Why aren't they reporting that? Guys, when it comes to the whole Afghanistan situation, many of us are very ignorant and don't really understand foreign affairs and things like that. But I think the one thing that people can kind of come together and say, yeah, Biden effed up. I mean, think about it. 3 weeks ago, Biden makes a statement literally saying, and basically to quote, you will not see, people being airlifted out of an embassy. 3 weeks later, that's exactly what happened. And I think many Americans are perfectly fine with leaving Afghanistan and not being involved with Afghanistan. It's a very complex issue. Many of us don't understand why we were in Afghanistan in the first place, whether it was for the national resources or the human rights violations. I mean, you don't see us invading North Korea, so what's the point of being in Afghanistan? But there's a way to leave Afghanistan and not leave behind hundreds of thousands of Americans in a Taliban-occupied country. And then Biden specifically references and says, you will not see people being airlifted out of an embassy. And that exact thing happens 3 weeks later. Obviously, it was a disaster of an evacuation. Even many Democrats have admitted that, and Biden and the Biden administration should be held accountable for that. But, many people, Americans, Biden could have done this the right way and gotten more support from Americans, but it was just done completely reckless, and it enabled the Taliban, unfortunately, to get their hands on many American weapons, American vehicles, and unfortunately, many Americans still stranded in Afghanistan in a Taliban-occupied country. Not exactly what we would call ideal. And guys, it's that time. It is time for our weekly TikTok video where we've got a beautiful young woman, actually a beautiful young person, I don't want to misgender them, who is going to talk to us about, I believe, air conditioning units and how they were created from white supremacy. Very phenomenal stuff, guys. Great education here. Let's see what this phenomenal young scholar has to say about the horrible racist air conditioning units.
the top of my head why Americans are addicted to air conditioning.
So many reasons, but the most infuriating one is that our buildings are built wrong. In a great stitch, Desiree Stevens talked about how it was because of white supremacy and colonialism. Indigenous people had air conditioning through streams of water built underneath the ground, or in ways that worked with natural landscapes.
I cannot do it. You heard it there first. White supremacy air conditioning units. I hear, you know what? My air just went on my AC. I gotta go turn that off. Guys, I have to end the video. Air conditioning units are racist. And I just heard mine pop on. I gotta go turn it off. I'm gonna get an aqueduct. I'm gonna get a river installed in my basement that runs through so it'll cool my house down. It's 90 degrees out, but that'll 100% cool my house down. And I'm going to have my air conditioning unit completely uninstalled. Racist, white supremacist, horrific. This young individual, we don't want to misgender. I was going to call her a woman. I'm sorry. That was insensitive of me. I'm not going to do that. This individual has explained to us, I can't watch the video, guys. I'm sorry. I can't watch it. I can't do it anymore. I cannot do it anymore, guys. But guys, that's going to do it for your weekly dose of crazy liberals. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.